All right, hello, hello. Sorry, I need to do something about this really quick. All right, you have a do now question up at the top of your page. That is from what we did in yesterday's lesson, or whenever you did it. Look at that piece of hair there. Sorry. Okay, so go ahead and work on that one do now question. Come back and unpause me when you're ready to check your answer. All right, so just like yesterday, we started by labeling this point x, y, and then we took that x value, plugged it in where x was, and then we take the y value and plug it in where y is. So y is 6 equals 4. Next to the 4 should be 1 plus 2. So then we get 6 equals 4 plus 2. And we get 6 equals 6. So we would say 1, 6 is a solution. We would say 1, 6 is a solution. All right. Now that really plays well on what we're going to be doing today. So today we're kind of really starting our unit 4, which is all about what we call a system of equations. Now a system of equations is just when we have a set of 2 or more equations that use the same variables. So a system of equations is when we have 2 or more equations. Up here we have 1, so again we're just going to have 2 or more, and they use the same variables. So like this one uses x and y. To make it a system, we would have another equation with an x and y in it. The solution that makes both equations true at the same time. That is what the solution is for a system. Yesterday, the solution is the point that made this true. This gave us 6 equals 6. This is a true statement. That was a solution. For a system of equations, the solution, the point x, y, it has to make both equations true in order to be a system, or in order to be a solution. So a system of equations are 2 equations that work together. The solution is the point that is true for both of them. So let me show you an example here. So we're going to determine if this ordered pair, 3, 1, is a solution to this system of equations. So just like yesterday, I'm going to start by labeling this x and y. And then we pick an equation to start with. Again, we're going to take our point, plug it into the equation. This time we just have to do it twice instead of once. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to plug it into the first equation. So I'm going to plug the y in where y goes. And I'm going to plug this x value in where the x goes. So we get y, which is 1, equals x, which is 3, minus 2. 3 minus 2 is 1, so that one's good. However, again, this is a system. A solution for a system of equations is the solution that makes both equations true. So now we plug it into the next one. I'm going to erase these now. So now I'm going to plug x in for x down here, and I'm going to plug y in for my y down here. I'm going to do this one in a different color. So y is 1 equals negative 2 times x, which was 3, plus 7. 1 equals negative 6 plus 7, and we get 1 equals 1. Again, that is true. So now both of these equations end up being true statements when we plug that in. So that means 3, 1 is a solution. Okay, so plug it into the first one, then plug it into the next one. If it's true for both, yes, it is a solution. If you need to pause me to make sure you get this down, go ahead and pause me. I'm now going to show you what a non-solution would look like. So we have two equations here, again, and I want to know if the point 0, 4 is a solution. So I need to check if 0, 4 makes both equations true or not. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to label this x, y. I'm going to plug the x in where x goes, and I'm going to plug in the y where the y goes. That was kind of sloppy. Okay, so we get 4 times y, which is 4, minus x, which is 0, equals 16. 4 times 4 is 16, minus 0 equals 16. So that is just 16 equals 16. So that one is good. Now let's try the next one. So same thing. I'm going to erase my little arrows now. I'm going to plug the x in where x goes. I'm going to plug the y where y goes. So y is 4 equals 3/2 times x, which is 0, minus 1. We get 4 equals, anything times 0 is just 0, minus 1. So we get 4 equals negative 1. 4 does not equal negative 1. That is not true. So now, because it's not true for both, 0, 4 is not a solution to the system. So I'm going to say 0, 4 is not a solution. Okay, so 0, 4 is a solution to this one equation here. So it is a solution for that specific one. But I want to know, is it a solution to this system, this set of equations? So because it's not true for both of them, it is not a solution. So it does not matter if one ends up being true. If there is one that is not, the answer is no, it's not a solution. Okay, so it's always very important that you check both to see whether you have two that are solutions and two that are true statements, or if you end up with one that is not. You need to do it to both equations to be sure. Okay, there is a you try problem here, so I'm looking for your work to look exactly like mine. I want you to label your point xy, draw some arrows showing where they go in. On one side, write your work for the one equation on top. On the other side, show your work for the next equation, and then give me a clear sentence saying this point is or is not a solution. Okay, your work should be exactly like mine that you see up above. All right, go ahead and pause me, give it a try. If you get stuck, come back and try to get unstuck. Otherwise, I'll see you in a second for you to check your answer. All right, let's work through this one. Hopefully you either did it or you're just back checking your answer, or you're looking for some help to get started. All right, so same thing, label it x, y. I'm going to take my x value, plug it in for x. I'm going to take my y value, and I'm going to plug it in for y. So we now have 2 times y, which is 4, plus x, which is 1, equals 9. We get 8 plus 1 equals 9. So that gives us 9 equals 9. So that one's good. Now let's check the next one. So again, I'm going to erase these just for my help. I'm going to plug the x in where x goes. and we're going to plug in the y where the y is. So we have y, which is 4, equals 3 times x, which is 1, minus 1. We get 4 equals 3 minus 1, 4 equals 2. That is not true. 4 does not equal 2. So we would end this by saying 1, 4 is not a solution to the system. One, 4 is not a solution. Okay, again, it has to be true for both. All right, now that we've done that, I want you to go ahead and try some of these. So there's some more down here. If you need to, spend some more time looking at these. Try to make sense of them. Okay, if you are still struggling and you're not sure what is coming from where, really look at this, try to make sense of the numbers. If you can't figure it out, please let me know. That is why I am here. I want to help you. So if you are not getting this and you are like, Miss, what are these numbers even? Just ask. But spend some time looking at them, see if you can make sense of it. I want you to try all of these problems. You do have the answer key. You don't have the work shown, but you have whether it is not a solution or it is a solution. So after you solve it, check the answer key and see if you got it right. If you got the right answer, great. If you didn't, try it again. I would say work through all of these and then check the answer key and then star any ones you got right. Any you got wrong, go ahead and give them a try. Again, if you need me for help, just reach out. That's what I'm here for. And good luck. Go ahead and finish that IP.